Gyro's hitting for only about 130 right now. He'll obviously grab maybe a Sanjin Yasha afterwards. I doubt it'll be a big damage item, and as a result, it's going to block a lot of damage on these. And they're going to have armor on top of that, so they damage block on top, and then tons of armor. They're going to have tons of survivability due to this.
Yeah, Crimson's really good against teams that have a lot of summons. You know, heroes like Beastmaster or what have you, Necronomicon carriers. But it's also just good to mitigate damage in general. The auto attacks really add up in these team fights.
Yeah.
Even heroes like Puck, those auto attacks matter.
Yeah.
And when you're mitigating 50% of that,
Before armor.
Yeah, before armor. It really makes a big difference. We'll see Moon here up against Bone 7. We'll force Bone to mech up. And, wow, this Pugna is actually decently farmed. He's got a full soul booster to go with his mechanism.
Pugna farms so fast, man. His base damage is really high, so his right click is high. And then he has the highest int gain in the game, so tons of mana, which means any percentage-based mana regen that you get is going to really pump you up. And it looks like he's going for... I'm going to assume this is Octarine, but I'm not 100%. It seems a little weird.
The cool thing with Octarine is you can get the double Nether Ward down for a couple of seconds there. You get like a 3 or 4 second window. So Lena, for example, can completely cripple herself.
Charge coming mid. Will he BKB?
He does have a haste rune on.
But he's far away. Oh, will they get the chainsaw? They do!
He's
going to go down.
Oh, it's not enough.
He had to BKB there. Again, not BKBing. I guess he just didn't think the rest of the heroes were there.
That time he was hasted up, though, so I can see why he would have thought Envy. There was a haste on the gyro, so I think that's why he thought he could get away and just wasn't quite ready for all that burst damage with the Laguna.
Oh, bash on Misery now.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That'll be an easy kill. And that's just a series of unfortunate pickoffs for Cloud9.
They had the game in their hands, but that Roche fight went bad, and now losing their carry once again. Fada going to do some damage. He's just trying to counter push out bot lane, but it's, man, they had the game in their hands. They defended so well in the early game, but a couple more teamfight losses, and Complexity is back in it completely. They're going to take another tower here. They'll defend bottom. Might be a gank bottom.
Charge on to Fata. He does phase shift the stun. He'll be able to blink away on the backside of it. Big Daddy's nearby. They get the tier 2 in the mid lane, and now Complexity will just rotate down and see if they can grab a couple kills. They ping out the tier 1 in the bottom lane, so they'll push this out and just continue taking these outer towers. S and Y on the Shadow Fiend now, and I think BKB is about out for the Sven.
Oh, they're trying for it.
Oh,
no,
here we
they
go.
Can't do this.
Ziz needs to be careful. In comes Z-Freak, though. They've got the dust now. It's Big Daddy who's on the run. A bash onto Fata. That'll secure the kill on that side. Big Daddy juking and jiving in the trees, but it's not enough. Z-Freak finds him, smashes him with the lantern, and it's another duo of kills going the way of Team Complexity.
C9 would have been really happy to get that kill, but it was so dangerous. Bounty Hunter with those items, kind of weak damage. Puck as well. A very good initiating core, but kind of weak damage. And if they miss the kill, they have to deal with the Spearbreaker charge. And that's what happens. He charges in on the puck, he pops the dust, and they guarantee the double kill. And C9 just keeps making these little mistakes and these slightly bad calls and slightly bad team fights, and Complexity's punishing them. They're just too disciplined.
Well, they get the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. The tier 2 will be glyphed out by C9. But it won't stop the siege. This will be the end of the outer towers as Complexity take more and more map control. All the while, Bone 7 doing some split pushing in the top. He will secure the kill on this tower and then TP's home. Fly almost with that LSA cooldown, but not quite. Ziz couldn't TP in time to get a kill on the Pugna.
Nicely done by Pugna there. Ooh, Shadow Fiend looks like he's dead, honestly. He's being chased down.
Yeah, it's tracked up as well. He'll be intercepted by the gyro, or will he? Nether Strike onto Eternal Envy, gets the second bash, a third bash as well. Z-Freak finding some RNG, BKB's popped to plenty. Swindle will stand his ground, he wants Envy, but will be forced back. Moon rotating his way over, does have a wall of replica, but Complexity don't have the numbers advantage, and they will disengage. Swindle surviving there is just a victory for Complexity.
I liked his play there. I think both players on Complexity played well. Z-Freak guaranteed that the gyro couldn't do a lot of damage to Swindle.
Yeah, that guaranteed stun lock there with the triple bash.
Yeah, well, one of those was a charge, I think, but
I think he nether striked and then got 2 bashes in a row.
So when you charge into somebody, you don't automatically get the bash, right?
Yeah.
It's the heroes that you're passing through that get bashed, to my knowledge. I might be wrong though.
Let's see.
And the targeted unit will be hit by a greater bash. So I don't even know if he got lucky there. He just guaranteed the chainsaw on the gyro and helped the Shadow Fiend stay alive, and almost led to a gyro kill. But again, Complexity playing it safe. They don't go for the overdive. They have the advantage at this position. Even though the gold graphs are kind of close, I think they're sitting really, really pretty right now.
Yeah.
It looks like only a moderate advantage. Might see the stun. Bone 7 gets caught.
He is in some trouble here. There is some support nearby, though. Fata's there. There will be a long-range charge from the Spirit Breaker. Yeah, BKB used. He still uses the Dream Coil. There's your Glimmer Cape. That'll give Ziz a little bit of time to go for the Nether Ward there, and no way Bone 7 can get out on the other side of it. Fata on the run. We'll have to orb forward, but Swindle, he's ready and waiting for it. Fata can't jaunt to the orb, and instead will try to juke back the other way. He's got a phase shift here, but now they'll move him into the tree line. There's the Yules.
Again, the charge.
Oh, my.
They know exactly where he is. Oh, now they don't.
Okay, Fata with the cheeky plays. He'll be able to make it home. Very nicely done. Some space created while the rest of his team pressures the side lanes.
Very small mistake there by Moon. I think he should have Iron Shelled the Spirit Breaker to help stop the blink. Because if you can do damage to Puck, he can't blink. And he needed to have the Iron Shell to do the instantaneous damage. So Puck was able to blink to the right and then do the orb. If he has to orb to get out, it's a bit easier to figure out where he is. But once he gets the blink, he's gone. Yeah. But very small mistake. They still get the Pugna out of that. Very nice setup from Ziz. He really doesn't play carry like a typical carry. He's not like a farm all the time. It's really more of a, I look for picks, I sit with my team, I do what my team needs. I don't aim for the super late game with the items. I feel like he's really active, and though his farm is suffering as a result, it's leading to more ganks and more setups and more pressure on the map that C9's not used to.
Yeah. It made a lot more sense in Game 1 when he was paired with the Wisp to see him rotate so much, but it's interesting to see in back-to-back games here how he plays basically the same style with or without that taxi service. And in both games now, to decent effect. There is a Sentry Ward down here for the Radiant. Big Daddy needs to be a little bit careful. They could potentially set a trap, but no, they will scatter as Envy tries to split push down bottom. Envy is in Rapier territory here.
Is this the Rapier? I think it's a little scary here. They're kind of throwing some team fights. Bit of a charge coming in. What is this?
Charging across, going for Bone 7, and that
was weird. Okay, he's like, that was stupid, I'm dead.
Okay, he's got teammates here.
Oh, great Glimmer Cape.
Glimmer, yeah, all right.
I really like the Glimmer pickup on Moon this game. It was great.
That was really bold, though. That was a pretty crazy charge. Envy TPing out down bottom, Swindle with no way to interrupt.
He's like, he's farming my jungle, that bastard.
Yeah. It is the MKB, though. Okay. So he'll play it safe.
I like this. I think he definitely needs a damage item here. Sanjay Yasha would be way too weak. If he goes S and Y, he's just trading items, basically Shadow Fiend, and Shadow Fiend is ahead of him, so you can't do that. You need a way to kill your opponent. If your carry is ever at a point where he can't do damage to the enemy carry, you've got a problem. So when you're playing carry, you often have to look at your opponent's items and say, okay, he's about to get this. I need this to counter him. Yules to break the track there.
Yep. And now we see a charge onto Fata. Ziz on the side, stuns up Misery.
Oh, they're running.
Freak in potentially some trouble here. Dream Coil is still available. They're trying to decide where to use it. Now Lena in some trouble.
Good Glimmer.
Glimmer a cape as well. She
makes
makes it out. On the backside, Ziz pops the BKB. He goes charging in. Moon's here as well, looking for a wall vacuum setup, but can't get the positioning. BKB'd Envy, soon to expire. Nether Strike will knock him back. Call down will connect on most of the team, but it doesn't seem to matter. Vacuum into the wall. Replica. Huge Requiem. They will lose the Lena, but they get the gyrocopter they came for. Now Bone 7 on the run. He'll fall as well. Fata looking for some cleanup kills. Finally deploys the Dream Coil, but they stayed the mech this whole time. Misery in a lot of trouble. He'll die to the urn, it looks like, as Z-Freak tries to make it out. Maybe, just maybe, the Rubik can make it back to the well. No, he dies to the last tick before he gets the regen. Now Fata trying to orb away. He will jaunt to the high ground. He'll be the lone survivor, but Complexity completely taking this team fight. All of his teammates are down. If they can kill the Puck here, it will be a full team wipe. Fata just trying to keep them distracted instead of going for the towers, but Moon, he knows better. He wants the objectives.
Man, Z-Freak played that fight so well. Like, it looked completely like Moon was going to die, but the charge came through, caught two. He didn't waste any time on the Rubik at all. Moon's going to end up dying here most likely. He's not tracked. They don't know where he is. He's got to search. All right, he's going to live.
He's juking and he's jiving. He lives.
But that was, seriously, Z-Freak played that fight so perfect. He didn't over-dive on the Rubik. He throws the urn. Misery had a great play to wand and try to TP back. It was his only way of living, but he got back to Fountain, and then he died. But Z-Freak played that fight so well. So many good tracks. And he had such a rough early to mid-game as well. Now he's completely recovered. Like, it is very hard to play Spirit Breaker in a support position, in my opinion, because you have to know the limits of your hero. And he's not relying on bashes to win. He's just playing his hero correctly, using his abilities exactly when he needs to, and getting back out and re-engaging. So props to Z-Freak in that fight. I think he completely carried his team.
Yeah, 100%. And I will open up for another Roshan here for Complexity. Aegis the Immortal on the Shadow Fiend. And AC again for the Sven. Not too far away. Just needs one more armor piece. Also Shadow Blade picked up by the Spirit Breaker. So much item progression on this Radiant side. You look over at the Dire and Bone. He seems to have given
Still
up
got
on
the booster, I guess.
this, Octarine or whatever he wanted out of it, because now there's just a Staff of Wizardry.
I think the Glimmer Cape is really smart. I don't think it's that bad to divert from his item build, because Octarine, in my opinion, does very little for him. It's not a huge advantage, and it's 2,700 gold. You know, that could be a Force Staff, that could be a Glimmer Cape, that could be so many other items with gold to change. Charge on Fada here. Oh, he actually doesn't phase shift it, so he'll get the chainsaw.
Yep.
That's just a dead hero.
Oof.
It's a
He
bit of a...
didn't see it coming. You look at Dire Vision right now, and they've got nothing for
and he
that
came
whole
through
angle.
the trees, so that was a really good angle for what's his name? Z-Freak to go for the charge. So really nice kill there. Dead Puck for 55 seconds. And
Envy now going to find himself in a world of hurt.
he
Storm
has to.
Bolt.
Wow.
Stopped by the BKB, but just look how much damage the Sven's able to do with God's Strength and Mask of Madness.
And he didn't BKB himself, so that was a Eternal Envy BKB there. Cooldown now for 50 seconds, and they go for the push. Now, Sven won't have his ulti in addition to that, but I think that's a decent trade. They have enough burst damage where if they shut down or if they initiate on Gyrocopter, they can definitely kill him.
Yeah, and Spindle now, he's making up for that lost damage. He's got the completed Scotty, so also very tanky in the front lines. There is a glyph for this Dire side. They will have the reset tool. They'll fly, still off to the side. Not as farmed as he was in the last game, but closing in on that Aghanim's only a couple hundred gold away.
He's still completely making an impact this game. I think he's doing just fine. They also have a Lotus Orb picked up on Darkseer now. I really like Moon's item progression. I think he got a perfect balance of items this game. He's got enough mana pool. He's got the survivability. The only thing you could maybe argue is maybe he should have gotten a pipe instead of a Lotus or maybe the Crimson. But his HP balance and his damage block balance is really good. And the Lotus is great for a couple reasons. There's a lot of spells you can reflect, such as Track. If you can track back the bounty, that's really good. You can reflect Rubik's spells. You can reflect a Life Drain from Pugna. But the really cool one is it's a Dispel, so you can remove Track from your allies. So if somebody and he's also got the Glimmer Cape, so if somebody's dying and they're tracked, he can Glimmer Cape and Lotus Orb, and the track goes away. So it's really synergistic, and it allows him to play like a support role despite being a Darkseer.
Yeah. All right. Still the slow siege from Complexity here. They're trying to pressure multiple lanes at once. They're